Hey everybody, welcome to episode 97 of the Toys for Games podcast. We are recording this a little bit earlier than usual, but for very good reason. This is Monday, November 14th, 2016. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined by the man who has returned from his cross-country trip and back over the weekend, Jason Greer.
Good evening, Josh. How are we doing tonight?
Fantastic. It's going to be a great show. Kind of set this up last week, a few weeks ago. I was teasing some stuff out about this. We're going to have a good time on this episode.
Yes.
Also, we're trying to get this in before I go to Disneyland. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am 2 steps out the door to my Disneyland vacation, and I couldn't be happier. So the sooner we can get this done, the sooner I can get going, guys. Of course, I'm kidding. We have some very special guests with us tonight. We have the creators, the innovators of a new Toys to Life, not just a game, but a Toys to Life experience, if you will, that is looking to innovate the Toys to Life genre as we know it. It's looking to push the boundaries that has been set in place by games like Skylanders and Lego Dimensions, looking to take the concepts of the Toys to Life games and push them into a more physical, more educational realm of experiences. I am talking about a new product that's coming out called Toyji, and we are very honored to have the creators of this product with us. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi.
So happy to have you guys here. Spoke to you guys a couple weeks ago about this this new thing that you guys have created that you've been working very hard on. I was blown away. I was excited. Couldn't wait to have you guys on the podcast to share that with the listening audience, because I couldn't do it justice if I just sat here and just told Jason about it on a podcast. I don't feel like I could communicate exactly what Toyji is as well as it deserves. So,
well, thank you so much. I mean, as I said before, coming from you, that means a lot to us, and I should say the honor and the pleasure is ours.
Well, let's not drag our feet any longer here. Let's talk about what Toyji is. People want to know what this thing is. What are you guys working on so hard? And what should people be looking forward to with this?
All right. So Toyji is a personalized smart toy platform. We use interactive, customizable, and 3D printable smart toys as game controllers. We offer educational tablet games that take place in a fictional universe. It's for 3 to 8-year-olds. So it's essentially, like you said, a Toys to Life product for an age group that has been underserved. If I may, I want to talk a little bit about what got us here and what is the central concept behind it, because we're going to be delving into more details, but I want to set the tone for that conversation. We really believe in this concept of personalization by and for families, because there are a lot of products out there, but we try to achieve something very specific, and that is making this personalized by and for families. It works in 4 ways. So the first one is essentially you get to customize and bond with your smart toys. The starter pack comes with 3 standard toys, which you can choose to customize either with do-it-yourself kind of paint, and you can paint the toys, or we allow you to essentially design something completely new and deliver it to you through a 3D printing hub. 2, because these smart toys serve as controllers, they offer a personal touch, and they make imagination tangible in a way a keyboard, a game controller, or a touch screen or a tablet normally can't. 3, like I said, this is for families, so Toyji follows meal, screen, and bedtime plans. What that means is it's not going to get in the way of any kind of activity that has to do with family life, and it actually facilitates it. And 4, like you said, we strive to be more than just a product, more than just a game, but we strive to, like you said, revolutionize this genre and offer a platform. So users get to choose how educational, how entertaining, and how collaborative. So it could be single player, multiplayer. Their experience is going to be, and that's totally up to them because there are a lot of options. Yeah,
absolutely. Go ahead, Jason.
Now to say, yeah, you used to phrase, and I know it's on your Twitter handle there as well. For people want to get a heads up too, if you're listening to your computer, it's Toyji, TOYJI.com or twitter.com/playtoyji on Instagram, YouTube as well. But you said about says here like the world's first smart toy platform. I know we'll dive into a little bit more, but do you want to say like what differentiates that? What you would like? Why you would call yourself the first toy or smart toy platform versus something else that's already in the space?
So there are existing smart toys, and they tend to do specific things. What we do is we offer this pad on which you place the smart toys, and they are placed on interchangeable basis. And what this allows is it opens up a door of many, many possibilities. So let's say, you get one kind of product and it plays a certain number of games, it interacts with you. We also have interactive sort of machine learning involved. And what we do is a little different in the sense that you can modify it, you can change it. So it's not, you don't play with it the way it just comes out of the box. And I may actually throw it to Jem because he knows the market a little better than I do.
Yeah. So in addition to this, our smart toys are actually controllers. So when you put smart toys on our pad, it detects these toys so you can change their position and orientation in real time. Then you can see the character is moving on the game. So you can see the screen and you can interact with the game with the toys on the pad. So this is actually a different kind of gameplay that never seen before in Toys to Life market. In addition to this, we also feature a developer edition. So third-party developers or any kind of indie game developer can make and build their own game with our SDK in Unity 3D game engine. So we offer lots of possibilities for the industry.
Yeah, so the one watching some of the videos here, I think they give a better picture for the listeners. I haven't listened to anything that I did see. There's like a driving mini game. I guess it's one of the things you're working for.
Yep.
That I think will work great for this kid's market because I know I have a bunch of nephews and nieces right in this age range, and they're hard at the point where they're not at the point where they feel comfortable with controller knowing where buttons are. But like even the one who was driving a car and moving it left and right and stuff like that would respond to that. And I know it's something they would greatly enjoy because I know they would like the idea of racing games, but they, even like a basic Disney Infinity game, they can't really grasp the concept of how to move the joystick around different spot to get to a certain angle. So I think that'd be something that would work really great with the platform you're building there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very intuitive. It also helps kids picture things and understand things in a three-dimensional way because these days kids spend a lot of time on two-dimensional screens and they learn that way. They, play games that way. And this adds like a solid and physical component to that. So let's say if you want to talk about sorting objects and like play a game that involves sorting objects, you could do that on this pad in a way that you can't play, with a tablet game. And like you said, our driving game also tries to talk about a little bit of like traffic rules. So whenever we have like a game, we also try to have an educational side to it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think like the biggest the biggest comparison that could be made is with Lego Dimensions, where there's a toy pad and you have your little Lego Dimension figures and there's 7 spots on the toy pad and you could move your figure from one of those 7 spots around, which usually involves some sort of basic puzzle mechanic to it. But that's it. It's not picking up the movement of the figure in real time at all. Whereas with Toyji, you're moving these physical figures on the pad itself, and the pad is recognizing the movements all around the pad.
Exactly.
And like that's the biggest thing. Like when you guys demonstrated it for me, and I saw it, and I saw it working on screen, it clicked immediately. It wasn't just move your character from this spot to that spot and watch the digital transformation happen after the fact. It's moving along with it. And the first thing that popped in my head when I was seeing it happen was just kids fine tuning those motor skills, the hand-eye coordination, learning depth, and just basic movements left and right, and like that really stood out to me as an important thing.
Yeah, we've worked with a lot of experts in this field, pedagogues. There's a list that we'll be putting on our Kickstarter page, of people that we worked with, and we really spent a lot of time in like figuring out not only like the technical details, but also like how do we, because once you come up with the hardware, the big challenge is kind of putting that to use in the best way possible. And like you said, 3-dimensional thinking, motor skills. We've also combined, possibilities in a way that it offers multiplayer opportunities. We've well-tailored roles for parents. So if a family wants to play it that way, it will also help with like social and language skills. So like you said, there are a lot of avenues to be explored.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing I want you guys to talk about is the difference between these figures and other figures that you would see in other Toys to Life games, where the figure is pretty much connected to the base and it does one thing, whereas your guys, as you said before, you have the option of customizing whatever you want to put on those bases. The bases of the figures are where the magic happens, right?
Yeah, so you can customize any character you want in the game. Like you can change their nose, you can change their eyes, you can make a penguin, you can make a chicken, you can make a dog. So there's a story behind that. Also, you will see when we launch our Kickstarter campaign. So we have characters coming from another planet, so they can be anything, and they can be customizable in the end. So that being said, you can also order them, or if you have a 3D printer at home, you can 3D print them. You can also do it yourself kind of coloring. So they come in only one color, like they come in white. So you can color them. You can create your own imagination on the toy. So we actually made lots of I can say focus groups, worked with families, and we also did a pilot program in one of the colleges. So we made the pilot with 80 students in total, and they loved the way that creating new toys and playing with toys on the toy pad and seeing those characters come alive in the game. So that's the actually difference and what we are offering for our actually customers, I can say.
Right. And just to be clear, there will be options that are not do-it-yourself figures, because I know my friend Jason over here, as much as he loves and appreciates art, he is no good at it. And if he was forced to have to design his own with a paintbrush, it's going to end badly.
I guarantee all the kids in your focus group probably would have painted a better animal or anything than what I could have done.
If this helps, when I was in middle school, I used to be good in all classes except for art, and I'd literally ask people to paint things for me because like I just couldn't do it. Like that was the one thing I couldn't do it. So yeah. I'm 100% with you. The idea is there will be standard characters in the starter pack, and essentially, like we've been saying, this idea of personalizing the product, kind of owning it, customizing it, creatively approaching it is at the core of this. So we just want to give people opportunities. If you want to get it 3D printed, we'll get it 3D printed for you. If you have a 3D printer, you can print it. If you want to play with standardized figures, we have that. So we just want to give people opportunities.
Excellent. One thing, I don't know if it was perfectly clear or not, but this game is played with this toy pad that you get, this magic just all-encompassing pad that is like essentially the controller, but that hooks up to tablets, iPads, and whatnot, right?
Yeah, we're also working on versions of this that work on different devices. So we already have iOS and Android, and technically, this is one of our goals. You could potentially hook it up to a TV or a computer as well. But at the moment, the main thing is going to be tablets, Android and iOS.
Okay.
And also, you can also use it with game consoles as well in the future. So we are working with Bluetooth 4.0, so you can connect it with a PS4 or Xbox One in the future.
See,
Awesome.
now that's exciting because I know a lot of people out there are a little apprehensive about, the words mobile gaming. So once you immediately start bringing in the possibilities of using this on a console, those people's ears perk right up. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
No, that's
actually,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Actually, we will open the possibilities for that kind of deal in the Kickstarter campaign as well. So we are thinking of delivering developer edition and also the console edition if we get funded enough in the end.
Right. That's awesome.
I would say.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I would say yeah. So obviously we have the characters here, and I don't know how much you want to reveal per se, how much you want to keep back, but obviously we said there is game elements involved with it as well. So he said there are daily activities said about cleaning and brushing your teeth and things like that. But even going through, I think I saw like a picture of like a farming something or other, which piqued my eye. Saw a soccer game, which is a big soccer guy. Loved seeing that. So yeah, if you want to talk about the actual the gameplay itself as well, what families can expect.
Absolutely. So the idea here is, like you said, just to give you a sort of sense of the story, characters are called Jixies. They are from this planet that they were exiled from. And they essentially live inside our digital devices. So the way they appear to us is customizable because of that. They're essentially pieces of data, but they're also living things that were exiled from their home planet. In terms of how like the games work, Jim will give you a broader picture in a minute. But the basic idea is Jixies live in this Jixie town, and there are different buildings and locations, each of which corresponds. So there is Farmhouse, which is the standard the standard game that is part of the starter pack. There's a magic school with a coding game. There's a restaurant where you can be the chef in your own restaurant. There's a music hall where you get to record music using our smart toys. There's going to be like a movie theater where you will record movies using these characters. Like imagine moving these real physical toys on a pad, and those movements are recorded, and like a 3-year-old can actually shoot their own movie. So that's essentially the kind of thing that we're offering. Jim, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, actually, we will feature a lot of new games and new toys for our users. And as John mentioned, these characters live in a town. So we start in a farmhouse. So we can call them virtual pets in the end. So you take care of them. They are artificially intelligent. You can talk with them. We are using the IBM Watson technology to get your voice, listen your voice, and then they can give responses to what you ask, and they can talk with you. So in the farmhouse, you can also play mini games, like you mentioned. It can be a soccer game, it can be a basketball game, it can be a pong game, or any kind of mini game you imagine. So it's endless for us, and we are working on a lot of game concepts, and we are open for the new ideas as well.
You had showed me before, like there's going to be like this hub world, which is really exciting. I was looking at all the different buildings and whatnot during the demonstration that I had, and I was just thinking of all these different places that kids could take their characters and all the different games and educational opportunities within all these different buildings around this town, which was super exciting. But then you just mentioned the virtual pet aspect, and I think that is really interesting because I grew up with virtual pets, having a little virtual pet in a little electronic game and carrying that sucker everywhere with me, hoping it wouldn't die while I was in school because, teachers didn't like you pulling those things out and playing with them. That was a big thing. And I see bits and pieces of that with Toyji, where kids will have these figures and they will relate to the characters. They will be a part of the process of creating and customizing these characters. And as they use them around this town and they go from these different buildings and they go from these different activities and they start bringing in the chore aspect of what Toyji is trying to offer, they're going to start caring for these things as if they are real, tangible things that they need to care for and keep alive and keep them surviving and thriving. And that's a really fun concept for kids.
Yeah, we've also specifically spoke with, like I said, pedagogues about this because one of the central themes of our games is like you said, there's this aspect of caring for these characters. We don't envision it to be as sort of intensive as were they called Tamagotchis when we were young? So it's not going to be as intensive. So like when the kid is not in front of the device, like it won't like there won't be a danger of dying. There's no violence involved. There's no so we're definitely avoiding all those.
Right.
But like you said, we do want them to bond with them, but we've also come up with ways so characters will level up. At some point, there's going to be some sort of a graduation of a character, like you will retire a character. So we're trying to build that in so the bonding is healthy. Like you said, it's something good, but we're also very careful about this. We have spoken with pedagogues. And yeah, we're working a lot on that.
Yeah. The age range you mentioned was from 3 to 8. Yes. What kind of scale is there as far as the educational opportunities, the actual games? Like, will a 3-year-old have access to everything that the 8-year-old would enjoy? Is there some sort of scaling that kind of grows with the kid? How does that work?
So some games will essentially appeal to all age groups. So the idea of moving characters and shooting a movie in movie theater, and the core purpose of that is essentially fostering creativity, right? Mm-hmm. And kind of sort of fostering artistic sensibilities. That would appeal to 3-year-olds and 8-year-olds. When Jem and Rahim did this pilot project in Turkey's biggest kindergarten school chain, they had this game where you would attach different body parts to the body. Think like the Scarecrow, and his pieces are all over the place, and you're trying to rebuild them, right? That was the kind of game they had. It wasn't scary, I promise. It was really cute. I started with a Scarecrow, and then I was like, what did I do? Yeah. But it was really cute. It was really cute. So the idea is with that game, they were learning about different body parts. Now, I'm assuming a 7-year-old's understanding of body parts will be different from a 3-year-old. And essentially, at some point, our marketplace will kick in. So as a parent, once your kid kind of grows out of a game, there will be different games in the marketplace that you can go to. So to wrap up, some games are for all age groups, especially ones centered around fostering artistic sensibilities. Some games are obviously there will be a lot of self-sorting, by the way, because kids develop at different ages in different ways. So, but we will be offering essentially a multitude of games. So every kid in that age group will essentially be covered with one game or another. And within the games, there will be, like you said, with a coding game, obviously, it would be different for different ages. And we're trying to make it accessible to everybody.
And also, I can add to this that we are really focused on the socialization part of our platform. So this means that when we made our focus group tests with some families, so we see that children aged between 3 and 8, they work together in the games. So they help each other. Like, for example, an 8-year-old can help their brother of 4 years old, right? So they work together, they socialize together, and all of the important part is they learn how to play together, and they learn how to team up. That is the most important part of our project as well.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking about Jason over here with a whole bunch of nieces and nephews, and it seems like every week he's adding a new niece or nephew to the bunch. But families with more than one kid in the household, is there some sort of requirement for each kid having their own play pad? Is it designed to be used by multiple different kids? Will there be separate profiles? Because nowadays, even things like Netflix, you have your own individual profiles, and kids already know that, this is my profile, this is my shows that are tailored to me. Is there something like that in this game, or is it going to be designed to be kind of a one-on-one thing?
No, actually, we have a lot of options for every kind of age group. So you will have your own character in the game. So you will save it under your name. So when you level up that character, it will be yours. And also you can save it to your own toy base. So we have toy bases, and you can mount different toys that you designed on those toy bases. And that toy bases can be your base to be used in any kind of Toyji pad. For example, you can go to your friend's house and bring your own toy base that you can also put it on the Toyji pad, and the character will appear on the game. So this will be totally your own character that you develop in the game. Yeah.
Let me add on to that a little bit. Jim, by the way, has a personal passion for this project. He is the father of a 3-year-old. She's a lovely daughter that you see in some of our videos, by the way. And we've specifically worked with, very recently, we worked with one family that had multiple kids. You'll see it in our videos. And we also have user interviews. The parents were interviewed and they gave very honest answers. We haven't in any way touched them. So that's their honest opinion, and you can find them on our Facebook page. So we've tried this with families with an only child, families with multiple children, and essentially they come up with a way to make it work. You could hypothetically get more than one pad, but if you only have one, like Jem said, the base will remember your specific character. So it can accommodate more than one children.
As I say too, the toy pad itself, I think I read that it has up to 16 spots you can use on. I assume 8 on the pad itself and then 8 on the side. So I guess you can have a big multiplayer experience as well.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
Okay, so the important part of this project is, as I said, socializing. So you can play a lot of different multiplayer games with the same pad or on the same pad, but you can also buy other sets to play directly with your friend. So, for example, think about playing a battleship game, right? So you can control your own ships, and the other user can control their own ships on their own pads. That's the idea we try to bring in the future. So right now we are also working on that, but it's working. So you can get, for example, 2 Toyji pads, and you can play different kind of multiplayer games. Yeah.
And you can actually place 16 different bases, like 16 different toys. So like 8 of them don't have to be on the side. The little places on the side are charging docks. Essentially, we designed it in a way so that it would also be presentable when you don't play with it, and you can like display your toys. Um, we're working on making it also serve like a night lamp. So it's a work in progress. We'll talk more about these details in our Kickstarter project. But ultimately, you can place 16 toys at the same time on one pad, and it would simultaneously be able to detect all of them in real time with no lag.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that is when you say 16 toys, you're not necessarily speaking about 16 different figures necessarily. You could have, like, one of the pictures on the website shows a bunch of musical instruments as toys. So you put those in, and you're bringing those musical instruments into the game itself. So the 16 is like a combination of characters and objects and all these different things that you could bring into the world and play with.
Precisely.
Yeah. You've mentioned the Kickstarter a few different times.
Yes.
I feel like the audience is just sitting here waiting for like the gritty details about this Kickstarter and what's going on. So you have not launched yet. You're looking too soon, from what I believe. So do you have some stuff to talk about with the Kickstarter?
Let me take that question.
Okay.
So we're going to be launching in about a week. Subscribers to our email list will get notified about the date real soon. As in like 2 days, we're going to settle on a launch date. There's a raffle that's going on. So if you do subscribe to our email list, we will be giving off 1 unit to the winner of that raffle. We're going to hold a live raffle broadcast on Periscope or on Facebook. We're going to stream it. And the idea is, once we do the raffle, after that, people who haven't won but they still want to get a product will hopefully back us on Kickstarter. Let me give a couple more details. We essentially, like Jim outlined, we have 2 primary customer segments. That's the first one is parents with kids, aged 3 to 8. And the second one is developers and enthusiasts, such as the people following this lovely podcast. We currently have 2,000 opt-in subscribers. Our number of daily new subscriptions have actually gone up. We're around 300 new subscribers per day now. It's been picking up, and hopefully, with your help, with the help of this lovely podcast, we're gonna keep growing. And what we aim to do on Kickstarter, I was mentioning this in our Skype call earlier. We're not necessarily in this for crowdfunding. Our email subscribers will be getting the early bird price, which essentially only covers manufacturing costs. We're not, including overhead. We're not including R&D. We're not including acquisition costs or anything. So essentially, if you are one of the people listening to this, it would be amazing if you could go on Facebook. It would be amazing if you could go to www.toyji.com and subscribe, because 1, you could win a unit. 2, at the very least, you would be getting 50% off, which is the early bird price. You would be helping us. And essentially, we try to build a community of passionate users. We're going to be engaging with the people who will write comments on our Kickstarter project. And, Jem and Rahim. Rahim, by the way, is the genius behind our hardware. He's the guy who came up with like the idea of detecting these different toy bases. They've already done 1 round of software and hardware development, so this is our 2nd round, and none of the R&D, none of that stuff will be factored into our pricing. We want to make it very accessible. We want to reach out to as many people as possible. We're still working on like the final details of pricing, and we'll be announcing that soon to our subscribers. So the best thing to do at this time would be really to go on our Facebook page and to go to our website, like I said, toyji.com, toyji.com, and subscribe. We also have a little surprise, and for the listeners of this podcast, Josh and Jason don't know this. We only said we have a special surprise for you, but we have a special surprise for the followers and listeners of this podcast, and I'll throw it to Jem to announce that.
So we actually love to give an extra game. So we will have a lot of extra games in the future, but we will also offer some extra games in Kickstarter as well. So we like to give one extra game for free for the Tours for Games podcast and the followers.
Wow,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we'll be coordinating with you guys. We're going to give you guys a code, so anybody coming through you will essentially get one more game than the starter pack or whatever pack they choose, because we're going to have different packs. Some of them will only have the farmhouse. Some of them will have more games, and essentially anybody coming through you will get one more game.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Super fantastic.
Yeah, we like surprises. I wasn't ready for that. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having us. This is a lovely opportunity, and you guys are amazing.
Thank you.
The market, and you know this. And the very fact that I was watching your reactions when we Skyped, and for the listeners, I could see in Josh's eyes how excited he was, and it's one of those really rewarding feelings. So we're very happy to be here. We're very happy to offer this to your followers, and we're very excited.
Wow, that's fantastic. Jason, do you have any more questions for these guys before we let them go here?
No, I was just gonna give them a special shout out there for subscribing to the email list and everything. So we were looking at it before. Some people do like an early start. You save like 10% or something like that. Like 10% is like a write off. Like 10% is nice as a consumer, but really it's not like that big of a deal. But I was like 50% off. I had to reread it multiple times to make sure it wasn't just like one person getting that. So like
Where's the fine
that's
print?
crazy. So it's worth going on there. Sign up. Make sure you get that. If you're interested in me, 50% off, 50% off. So that's super awesome for you guys doing that for the consumer.
Yeah, and like I said, like a lot of people, I don't want to say cold, but they're very calculating when they approach Kickstarter. We really see this as a community building exercise first. A lot of this, by the way, is self-funded, and so this is really, we're passionate about this. Like Jem has a kid. A lot of these features, like the whole idea of helping a kid, brush his teeth, that came from Jem's own experience. So we really want to reach as many people as possible. We were talking about accessibility, and we want to make it as accessible as possible. So that's what we're doing, and hopefully you'll support us.
I do have one question that's been intriguing to me. It's the off the wall question. Your Twitter and Facebook profile picture. What is the story behind the snail or bunny or whatever that icon guy is? When I first saw it, I thought it was a snail. And then when I clicked on it, I was like, oh, there's a ball, the helicopter thing. And I'm like, is that a bunny? There has to be a story behind what it is. So I'm curious if you're able to say what that is.
So it's one of the Jixies. Like we said, these little pieces of data can appear to you in many different ways. We're actually preparing like a Jixies video just on the story of these guys. And every character has like a companion. So what you see in that picture, which kind of looks as if like the little ball that you see, it kind of looks like it's one thing, but it's actually like the character and its companion. Do you want to add anything to that, Jem?
Actually, you can say these characters look like a flubber, right? So they are coming from another planet. So their planet is like an electronic device, but it's a planet. So there are bad guys, there are good guys in the story. They exiled from their own planet. They found our planet to live in our smart devices. So it's gonna be a big story in the end, and I think people will love it, and people also will love the characters we make.
Will we get to see more of the characters when the Kickstarter launches?
Of course.
Absolutely.
You will see this week. I think we will release some information and also the characters. I can say an intro video to everyone to see them, and yeah.
Perfect.
This is kind of an inside joke with our podcast, but will there be a jellyfish one?
You know, because these guys are customizable, you could make it. You could make anything. So we're making the inside joke no longer a joke. It's real now.
Awesome.
You've already given us more than Beast of Balance has, so.
Well, thank you so much for having us. This really has been a pleasure, and like I said, hearing all these positive things from people who have so much passion for Toys to Life products it's really great for us. It's really rewarding.
Yeah, well, you guys are doing fantastic work. I can't wait.
Yeah, thank you.
For the Kickstarter launch. Everybody needs to go over to toyji.com, toyji.com. Check it out. Follow them on Facebook. Sign up for their email mailing list, and say hi to them on Twitter. Let them know that you heard them on this podcast and you are excited about what they are offering to this this growing genre that we love so much. So. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us tonight. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to you once again, and we'll be talking soon, I'm sure. But best of luck with the launch of the Kickstarter, and we will be pushing as hard as we can to help that grow as much as it deserves. So. Thank you
so much. We'll be promoting.
Thank you so much.
We'll be promoting both your podcast and this episode on our page soon. And like I said, we'll coordinate and we'll talk more about that offer that we talked about.
Sounds good. I can't wait.
Thank you so much. Have a great one.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. That is Toyji. Toyji. It's fun to say. It's a fun word to say.
It is fun to say.
Yeah. Great guys. They have a really cool thing. To be honest, this was something I was most excited about because, they kind of talked about the age group of the 3 to 8 year old kids hasn't really been fully addressed with Toys to Life,
Yeah, I mean, when you and I were talking about it, how long ago was this when we first started talking about this?
About a month.
I'll say probably a month ago.
Yeah.
And it was, and I apologize because I wish I could give credit to who it was, but somebody in one of the emails that the email segment said about specifically this market, saying about, is there something to do for, toddler market? And we both said, I'm sure there's something could do, but you and I really didn't have too many good ideas for it.
Right.
And then it was literally 2 weeks, or it may have even been a week.
Yeah.
I would say it might have been a week. And then we ran into this and started talking about it. I'm like, funny how that all worked out. Yeah. So I apologize to whoever asked that question. I wish I could remember who it is. If you remember, be sure to tweet us to give them proper credit. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, I specifically remember that because we answered that and we were just like, there's market for it, but who could do it? What could it look like? And then within that week, came across Toyji, and I was like, well, there it is. That's what needs to happen. So,
sure.
Really excited. Youngest kids in this house are 8 years old, so they're at the top of the demographic of what they're shooting for. Kind of makes me want to have another kid though, just to be able to play around with this. Don't let Val hear that because she's gonna lose her mind. But I'm thinking about all the possibilities that you could have with your nieces and nephews with this stuff. They come over to Uncle Jason's house, and you set them up with this. You're playing along with them. You're doing your thing. This is such an awesome thing that I wish my kids had as they were growing up.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of pieces to it. Like I said, be sure to go on the website, check out some of the pictures they're showing off the different game stuff. It's one of those products. All those Toys Life, someone gets a concept, it's hard to fully grasp it all. So be sure to head over there, take out the pictures and everything. But yeah, again, some people might criticize again the whole mobile thing first, but I think in this market specifically, speaking just from my experience of having hang out with my nephews and nieces, they get touch devices very quickly and very easily. Whereas controller devices is just,
Sure.
they're just not at that thing there. I mean, the famous story I say all the time is like my dad, he's trying to pull something out on his phone, and my niece Corinne, who just turned 3 like a couple weeks ago, will show him, no, Grandpa, this is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Right. And so, like, I want to be able to do that with the controller, stuff like that. I mean, some deal with, like, TV remotes and things, but I think it's smart to start with there. And then, again, if it works on other devices, great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is definitely, for this specific market, definitely think it's the way to go.
And this, with the tablets, with the iPads, they're only acting as the screen. All the interaction is happening on the pad in front of you. So, you're not worrying about, like, the touchscreen gaming and digital controllers, like, that kind of stuff that a lot of people are, not excited about per se. It's just acting as a screen to display what you're doing on the pad itself. So, I see this as something that, like, grandparents are going to be buying for their grandkids, feeling a little bit better. And, kids, like you're saying, at young ages now are getting into gaming, and just, like, digital media as a whole. That's where our society is. Older generations, I don't think, have fully accepted that as the norm,
Sure.
But this is definitely something, because it's so heavily rooted in being educational, that I feel people will be okay with buying 3 and 4-year-olds and asking them to play with. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's an exciting thing. When we know more about their Kickstarter official launch, then you guys, the listening audience, will definitely know about it as well. But like they're saying, go over to the website, toyji.com, Toyji, sign up for their newsletter. All you have to do is put in your email address. That's it. I mean, simple as that. And right off the bat, you're qualified for 50% off when they launch. So, I mean, you're pretty much losing money not doing it.
This is 100% that situation.
It's just silly not to, folks. Silly not to. So, yeah, as we get more information, we will definitely pass it on to you guys out there. But thank you once again to the Toyji team for joining us tonight. With that being said, Jason, let's go ahead and get to the rest of the show. We don't have much to talk about this week. I mean, we recorded, 4 days ago, so
right.
A few things have popped up. But we wanted to get this interview in before I ventured down south for my Disneyland excursion, and you have soccer and prior engagements going on left and right. So, what better night to record than a Monday night?
What better night?
First of all, big thank you to our executive producer, George Torres, who texted us way too early the other day. A picture of the start of one of his marathons that he was doing. What was it? The Marvel?
Yeah. The Avengers one, I think it was.
Yeah. And I guess Brett was doing it too. They ran into each other.
Yes.
But George,
not physically, not in
yeah.
the
5:30 a.m. text. It's for the birds, my friends. It's for the birds. You're up running. I'm sleeping. That's how this works.
Well, it's funny because I always love Disneyland marathon days,
mm-hmm.
because I remember me waking up on the East Coast and still struggling to get out of bed, and then seeing tweets of people's pictures at the starting line 3 hours behind me. I'm like, no.
It's crazy stuff. So thank you to George Torres, our executive producer. I don't know how the end of the race went, but hopefully I will get a chance this week to meet up with him and ask him the hard-hitting questions. So our show sponsor this week is Devin Lachinsky. You can find him over on YouTube, youtube.com/user/DLASCH, the number 2. Thank you to Devin for sponsoring the show. We have no Disney Infinity news, but we do have a trailer for Beauty and the Beast. I feel like we need to talk about that for just a second.
This is I think this is going to be the pinnacle of their live action remakes.
Okay.
As far as I think they're gonna knock it out of the park.
Right.
With this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely a different little bit of take. Some people are having different stuff about Gaston not being as big and stuff like that. But
As
we're having
Gaston-y.
yeah, or not having the CG beast. I mean, again, there's benefits and criticisms of that easily. But in my opinion, I think it's been building up to this moment for this movie for the live action, and I think it's all downhill after this. Like I think this is going to be by far the top one, and then I don't think anything's going to touch it.
Are they doing Lion King?
They are.
That
but again, that's like no, because it's going to be like the Jungle Book per se, which was great.
Right.
And it was a different those animal live action ones are a little bit different to me than like the human live action kind of things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that one I would almost put a separate like a part B kind of category.
Okay.
But as
Fair
far
enough.
as like the Disney princess remakes that they're doing,
Okay.
this one I think is going to top it out.
Well, I mean, like, of all the Disney princess stories, like, is there a better story than Beauty and the Beast? Like, overall?
No. Right.
I mean,
no.
that has that going for him from day one,
Yeah.
A lot of people are kind of freaking out about the music. Do you think they're going to have the songs?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Okay. People are concerned out there.
Isn't there already... I thought they already announced the soundtrack.
Did they?
I thought they did. Maybe I'm just imagining things. No, because I know it's 100%. There's singing for it. So
Okay. I think just because they didn't show any in the trailer.
right, which they fully do that on purpose. Like I said, I keep talking about it all the time. Frozen, they didn't show it was a musical till like a month before it came out.
Right.
And so they did the same thing. Moana, they haven't really touched any of the music online. They've released some clips, but none of the trailers really. There's been music, but you don't really know what the character's singing.
Sure.
And some of them. So, again, what they're trying to do is because, again, if they make it a musical, I mean, obviously, Beauty and the Beast already knows musical, but again, people get turned off per se with it.
Right.
Certain markets, and now you draw them in with this, and then you hit them with a double whammy that it's also a musical.
It just the songs are just so iconic from it that people, I think, just freaked out because there wasn't the music in there. But I mean, the trailer showed off all the characters. We got great look at Beast. Say what you will about Beast. Could he have been less CGI and more realistic effects? Yeah, could have. But I'm okay. I mean, they seem to nail the bigness of him.
Sure.
Specifically, like when he jumps down and like you hear the thud as he hits the ground, like just the sound and the look of him feels like he has the weightiness behind what I would imagine Beast would be. So it's not just like this floating CGI character, that she's dancing with or anything like that. So,
Right.
I mean, they have all the other the characters. They showed Chip, which I was super excited about. They did show Chip talking, though. Like, I thought they were going to have Chip say something, and they held back. Dang, Disney. Just tearing at my heartstrings. I'm 100% sold. I'm excited.
Yeah. And it's coming out, let me double check.
March 17th?
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day?
What? Let me say... Hold on. Sorry. Yeah. And then the week after that, I was trying to remember when Power Rangers was coming. That's the following week.
Oh, wow. That's okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Good old March movies, man.
Ah, man. Exciting stuff. And then what, Moana is next week?
Yeah. I thought it was coming out on Thanksgiving Day, but it's actually coming out on Wednesday.
All right.
So
Happy
then
birthday
some
to
theaters, and some theaters are having Tuesday night showings. So I'll be going to watch Tuesday night showings.
Sure, why not? I was scrolling through you could pre-purchase the album on iTunes, and I was scrolling through it, and I'm like, this is gonna be a really good soundtrack. This could be really good.
I know. There's people who listen to the soundtrack before the movies come out. I don't know how they do it. I really don't know. There's like if you listen to like the the songs they just chuck on the soundtrack made by artists that aren't really in the movie per se.
Sure, just licensed songs.
Yeah, I understand that, but like the actual like music, I just feel like it's spoilery, you know?
That you don't have context for them.
Yeah.
I feel like the songs usually go hand in hand with the scene and the story as it's being played, and like the songs are only powerful after the fact because you relate it to a part of the story.
Sure.
But whatever. People are strange. Who are we to judge?
Right.
Let's go ahead and start off with just a few little minor notes I want to talk about regarding some of our other franchises that we like to talk about, Lightseekers and Beasts of Balance. This little segment is going to be sponsored by our friend Christopher Long. You can find Christopher Long from Long's Toys, I should say. You can find on Twitter at CLong83. And then his YouTube is youtube.com/user/longstoys. Now, Jason, last week, a few days ago, we were talking about Lightseekers and their tank, the Play Fusion tank that they had. And we were trying to figure out where the tank came from. You know, sure. Who just has a tank, right?
Right.
Well, the crack research team here at Toys for Games, a.k.a. Matt Sonnenberg, decided to do a little digging, and while he didn't completely deliver the entire lengthy story behind it, he did report that Mark Gerhard, who is in charge of the Play Fusion studio,
CEO, yep.
Apparently he brings a tank with him wherever he goes.
That's fair.
That's his tank. He just brings it.
Because why not?
Yeah. Well, that was his response to Matt when he tweeted it out, was, wouldn't you? If you have the tank, wouldn't you bring it around with you everywhere? So yes.
Is that like on your resume for like, John, like, why should we hire you? I own a tank. All right, so can you start Monday?
Right. I will come to work in a tank. Top of the list as far as job interviews is concerned. So nice little tidbit. Thank you, Matt, for providing that for us. But it solved a lingering question that I was having sleepless nights over. Also, I want to talk just briefly about Beasts of Balance. Still don't have it yet. Still waiting. It's being shipped. Super excited. Like, the only way I could possibly get over the fact that I don't have it is that I'm going to Disneyland. But this weekend I watched Finding Dory for the first time. Fantastic.
First time.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to see it up until now. Okay. That's my fault.
What'd you see it this weekend on? Digitally? Did you buy it?
No, the cheap theaters.
Oh, okay. It comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, we have a $3 theater here, so.
That's fair.
And they always put movies out a few months after they actually release.
Sure.
Right before, like, they come out. But, you know, you get that movie theater experience, and good for taking kids because they don't have any sense of when movies come out. So my daughter's like, yeah, Finding Dory. Of course I want to go see that. It's like, yes. Score. Fantastic movie. Just, whew. That's an emotional roller coaster if I've ever experienced one. Wow. I knew there would be some tough parts in it because it's a Disney film. But it just punches you in the heart just over and over again for the entire film. The shell part, lost it. I absolutely lost it. There was a lady behind us in the theater that was bawling her eyes out. Like, she was sobbing. I think she had to get up and leave the theater because she was crying so loud. I'm like, that's something else. The short before it, Piper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Whoo, boy. That's
super good, too.
Super, like, that. Val and I were sitting there, and we were talking with each other. There were parts of it where I wasn't sure that it was animated.
Right?
Like, they just did some Planet Earth film style and just got some great shots of a little sandpiper. Man, people are talented. People are super talented.
I mean, there's people out there who love the obviously the Pixar films, but that like love the shorts more than the films, just because the shorts are just constantly good.
I mean, every little grain of sand was animated into that thing. Like, I don't know how that happens, but it did. The reason I'm bringing all of this up, Jason, is I was just... The entire Dory film, I'm just falling in love with all of these sea creatures all around. And I was thinking about how a lot of the characters were turned into Tsum Tsum, which now makes sense now that I've seen the film, who they are and why they're important. Hank is by far the best character in the film. Hands down. No argument, don't even get me started. But I was thinking, Beasts of Balance, they offer this world where you have sea creatures and land creatures and creatures that fly, and intermixing and interchanging them all and whatnot. And the plush jellyfish needs to be a real thing. I will stand by that. But there's also a shark and there's an octopus. I was starting to think about how Beasts of Balance can expand, and what if they put out an expansion that was just an underwater Beasts of Balance game?
That would be sweet.
Or a land, savannah Beasts of Balance of the savannah, and just take creatures from the savannah or from a forest in the Pacific Northwest or something like that, or take creatures that are just flying creatures and made, like, I'm just thinking of like ways they could already expand this game. And like my first thought was just like, I want this underwater world of Beasts of Balance, mainly because I want a plush jellyfish, but also because there's all these other great creatures underwater that I feel would be like, what if you had like a little crab, like just the fun things they could do with animals would just be amazing. So Beast of Balance, I'm giving that idea to you guys. If you want to talk, let me know.
For free.
Yeah.
I will challenge you on Hank being the best character.
Ooh, okay.
Gerald the Seal stole the show for me. Gerald the Seal and his little pail. The funniest thing in the world. Gerald!
Get
off our rock!
off.
Gerald!
It was so obvious that he was going to get on that rock as soon as they got off. But like when it happened, I started laughing hysterically. I'm like, that's perfect. That's so perfect.
Gerald would have been the best Vine comedian. So
him and Becky would have made a great YouTube combination.
Gerald!
Oh, good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Amiibo, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Amiibo, part of the podcast, is sponsored by our friend Michael O'Driscoll. You can find on Twitter at Amiibo_museum. What's going on with Amiibo?
Yeah, so some Amiibo fans got all a little bit excited, thinking that Super Mario Maker 3DS was going to get Amiibo support, since some web developer was like, you know what, I'm bored today. I'm going to chuck it in the Amiibo support category on the website. Then the internet went crazy, and then it was like, oh, that was probably a bad idea, and then removed it. So Super Mario Maker 3DS goes back to don't spend more than $10 on it category. So bummer to see it on there. Would have been an extra feature on there, but something else they're removing from that game.
Yeah. And one more thing, Amiibo is not helping at all.
I'm curious to see how that thing's going to sell. I think it's false. I think it's going to sell well because people are going to see it like, oh, I love that on the Wii U.
Yep.
I'm curious to see what the playtime is on that. People are going to get it and be like, why did I buy this?
Yeah. People are going to buy it just for the challenges in it, and that's it.
That's true. Then the other thing, Japan is getting a bundle here for Yoshi's Woolly World. That includes one of the Yarn Yoshis and Poochie. So the curiosity is where we're going to get. We're just going to get just a Poochie bundle as well, but we shall see. But again, if you missed out on the Yarn Yoshi, which are still floating around in most places, you can definitely might be able to get in this bundle as well. But just super excited for Poochie.
Yeah. Are they only getting the pink Yarn Yoshi with the Poochie? Do you think it'll be several different options? Like there's just gonna be a grab bag of blue or green, or
I think it just advertised the pink, as far as I saw.
Okay. Fascinating. Yeah, I mean, not much else to talk about Amiibo. I mean, again, we podcasted a couple days ago, so Amiibo news does not come in that hot and heavy these days. I will say this, though. I want to say this. Over the weekend, the internet collectively lost its mind and was super angry and upset at Nintendo once again. The NES.
Raise your hand if you were shocked.
Yeah. Nobody on this podcast was shocked. The NES Classic came out. Nobody could buy one because just stock numbers were not what people expected them or wanted them to be. Every store had lines before they opened. Some stores like Best Buy's got more quantities than stores like Target or anything like that. But still, people wanted this thing. You know, you also have to add the element of people going to buy this and reselling it. That's a thing. But regardless, many people online in Twitter were just outraged about them not being able to buy this NES Classic. Now, early in the morning, Nintendo came out on their official Twitter feed and was like, hey, we know that supplies are limited right now. We are doing everything we can to make sure that we continue to ship out stock through the holidays, right?
Yep.
What else can you want from Nintendo other than them just flooding every store with 1,000 of these units in hopes of selling them, than them coming right off the bat and saying, hey, we know this is a hot commodity. We know that you want to buy these for Christmas presents and whatnot. We got like 5 or 6 weeks until then. Let us keep pushing out stock. Relax. They did their part. Now, people are just upset because the whole false quantity, false scarcity, not having as many things that you're trying to sell that people can buy to make people want it more. This is our own fault, okay? There is no reason anybody need to get this thing on day one. These are 25-plus-year-old games, right? On a cute little system, I will admit that, but there is not one thing about this that needs to be purchased on day one other than just saying you got it on day one. Absolutely nothing. No, there's no conversation to be had about this thing. These are all games that you could go play on several different, ways other than this. The only conversation that you could possibly be a part of is just complaining about how short the controllers are. Other than that, a new Call of Duty comes out. You want to be in on day one because everybody's going to be leveling up, and you want to talk about how good the multiplayer is and how much the campaign sucks and blah 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 blah. And Watch Dogs 2 is coming out, and you want to be a part of that conversation because you want to talk about the cool plot points and blah 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 blah. I understand being part of the conversation for new games. There is no conversation to be had with the NES Classic. You do not need to be a day one adopter.
Well, I think so because people just want to relive that nostalgia for it.
But
I mean, it's totally understandable. And again, it's a new Nintendo product. But again, I don't even say it's our fault. This goes back to the Amiibo thing. I do not understand if people say Nintendo's not doing this. They 100% are. They did it for Amiibo. They're doing it for this. They did it for the Wii. They did it for everything else. This is what Nintendo does, and it's worked for them all of their life.
But we're suckers. That's what I'm saying. Because we keep doing it. We keep falling for it. And we keep insisting, okay, with the Wii, I understand. With Amiibo, understand. With this thing, we keep falling for the same marketing and same business strategy that they've used time and time again. And we keep falling for it. And if we keep falling for it, they're going to keep doing it. Okay? So, with the Amiibo, once Nintendo put out enough Amiibo that everybody could walk into a store at any point and buy an Amiibo of whatever they wanted, people stopped caring about Amiibo. People were not going on, before stores open to go wait in line to go buy amiibo. They were buying them day one because, hey, it's a new release. I want to get them. They're cool. I want to talk about them. I want to check them out, whatever. I want to see Boo glow in the dark as much as I can. But the excitement dropped off once they were readily available in stores everywhere. If Nintendo had flooded the stores with these things, you wouldn't have the same buzz. You wouldn't have the same electricity behind
absolutely.
it. So they did this on purpose.
Nobody would care about it, but yeah, they did it on purpose. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad they did, though.
Oh yeah,
because people can be mad about it, but on the same side, there's people who, a lot more people are going to be interested in now, not from a money-making aspect of it. There's people who are commenting on my Facebook picture when I posted that picture, I put up a thing, saying about, there's people I would never guess in a million years would be interested in this product. They're like, I really want this thing. Hope I can get my hands on it. Just because they heard about it because of the scarcity issues.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying... I mean, I'm glad that Nintendo did it. I guess my whole point was I'm sick of hearing people just completely trash Nintendo for doing it and being so upset and so angry about it when we saw it coming. We saw it coming a mile away. Everybody saw it coming. This is what they do. It's absolutely intentional. And again, like, if Activision had done this with Call of Duty and they only put out a certain amount of copies and people wanted to go buy Call of Duty, yes, there'd suddenly be more people interested in buying Call of Duty, but there'd be less people playing it, less people talking about it and reviewing it and blah, 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 blah. Nintendo doesn't need everybody to have one of these on day one. These are all old games. Everybody knows these games. There's no surprises in it. All the reviews are saying, yeah, it's exactly what you think it should be, and it's just the lack of being able to buy it that's driving people crazy. And if we as consumers step back and breathe a little bit and realize, hey, we don't need to be angry about this. We don't need to be upset. Like, this is Nintendo strategy. I didn't get one. I don't have one. I wanted one. But at the same time, I knew, hey, I'm probably going to be able to get one at some point, and I'm going to enjoy it when I get it. Would I like to have one now and be playing the games? Yeah, but I have 1,000 games to play, much less 30-year-old games to go back and pretend I like some of them,
Right.
Nobody needs to play Ice Climbers right now. Get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense. Kung Fu. Nobody cares about Kung Fu. Get out of here. Unreal. Nintendo being Nintendo is what it came down to. So I just had to get that off my chest because it was just a frustrating weekend to see so many people just unabashedly angry and upset about it. And they should have seen it coming. Everybody should have seen it coming. But yeah, if Nintendo had come out and said, we are never making these again. We're just done. Like, that first batch, that was it. We're out of the game. I hope you guys got what you wanted, but we're not making any of these again. Then I could understand grabbing the pitchforks and the torches and, wanting to riot about it. But they came out that morning and said, hey, we're going to do our very best to put as much of these out throughout the holiday season as we possibly can. What more do you want?
Indeed.
You getting the excitement of finding, like, I saw stories of people, like, just randomly walking into a store and having, like, one left and thinking that was, like, the best day that they've had in a long time, because that thought of nobody else could get these and I just lucked out and found this one thing. Like, we're going to keep finding those. Like, people are going to walk into random GameStops and Targets and Toys R Us's and there's going to be, like, one on the shelf. Yes, score. So we're getting that excitement and for the hunt, along with the fact that we know that more product is coming. Stop being mad, people. Just stop being mad. What it comes down to.
Every day at 5:00 Eastern time this week, Walmart's releasing a wave of them on their website. So
no kidding.
No kidding.
Good to know. So I missed tonight. Is what you're saying.
I don't know if they even did tonight. They said they were going to, but I haven't seen any reports of anybody getting it, so I don't really know.
Maybe everybody just forgot and moved on.
I got my Famicom though.
Yeah, you like it?
I haven't opened it up yet, but it looks
okay.
sweet in the box.
I saw Jason number 2 holding it, and the controller is tiny.
I know it's a little thing.
Little baby controller.
I'm debating. Like I want to open the Famicom, but at the same time, the box on this is so good.
Right.
I don't know if I want to either.
Sure. I mean, you don't need both of them plugged in to play, right?
Who says? It's America.
Do whatever you want.
Do what I want.
Next up, Lego Dimensions. Yeah, let's talk about Lego. No. We're going to save Lego Dimensions for last. That is actually the big news of the week.
Yep.
Let's do Skylanders Imaginators. Skylanders, part of the podcast, is sponsored by our fact checker extraordinaire, Matt Sonnenberg, who you can find on Twitter at SCLMatt. You can check out the website, sclmatt.com, for everything that he's involved with, including SkylandersCharacterList.com. He was posting things all weekend with you were out of town, and he's like, oh boy, he's just sitting there just taking his time.
He was salivating.
Oh
he
man,
was salivating.
You know, he's just sitting there on post, just like, I don't even have to rush to post this. I could spell check. I could format correctly. I could have somebody proofread it just to say I had somebody proofread it. No worries at all that Skylanders Inquirer is going to swoop in and get the stories ahead.
I haven't seen him tweet so much in a 48-hour period since the game was announced.
You go off the grid, and he's a shark in bloody water, man. He just circling around. So what do we got with Skylanders?
Yeah, so obviously the big news this week is the website developers said, you know what, screw it. We're just going to upload all the images of all the figures. So all the images, the pages themselves are not live, but if you can figure out, you know, Dr. Watson these things, you can figure out the URLs for all the characters' names. So, but they, so all the figures out there, plus all the variants. We were missing a couple, but those that get added later today then as well. But yeah, so everything's out there. No surprises. We knew everything. We've seen everything already, but it's nice to see, you know, crisp, clear HD, everything versus, you know, blurry pictures or things off a poster or in-game weird shots from a 3DS and all that kind of fun jazz. Yeah. But it was great to see.
Pain Yada. Looks so good. So good.
Mystical Bad Juju is the one I think looks the best.
Yeah, like I kind of like Mystical Bad Juju better than Bad Juju.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Which I didn't think I would, based on what we knew of the Mystical line so far.
Yeah.
Taekwon Crow still looks ridiculous, but...
Yeah. The one Skyline I looked through that I still thinks, like, what the heck, is Blastertron. It makes no sense to me. It just doesn't seem like a Skylander. It just seems so random.
He was a villain, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But just like it's just so random.
The look and design of him definitely doesn't fit with everything else.
Right.
So yeah, like when I see him too, I'm just like, oh, are we sure that's a Skylander? Are we sure about this?
Yeah. But everything else looks in there. Chain reaction looks cool. So we'll see. But Grave Clobber, I think people are gonna be underwhelmed with just because they tried to make him look tall by making his legs look small and then the rest, you know, big. Try and scale it a little bit, but
yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, but the blue looks really good.
Yeah, and shout out to Heartbreaker Buckshot and the hard-boiled egg thing to give kids nightmares. Starting in 2017. Like they all look great, and then all of a sudden, like why? Why did you have to make their eyes bloodshot evil?
I understand the Heartbreaker Buckshot. Okay, because the pink and the red, like, I'm okay with that one.
But you never, like, it should be design 101. You don't make a character's eyes red unless you want them to be evil.
Yeah, but he's a Valentine. He's a Cupid,
that's
man.
That's one of the cornerstones of development, of design. Wouldn't it be?
Look, when has Skylanders ever paid attention to the cornerstones of developments and design?
I'm just saying. There's still time, Skylanders. Fix it.
Look,
Fix it.
you complain now, and we're going to get the equivalent of like the steel-plated hood sickle.
Oh, you know it, 100%.
Yeah, like the hard-boiled flare wolf with the red eyes. That one, I don't understand at all.
Yeah.
Does the regular flare wolf have red eyes? No, he has yellow and black eyes. Yeah, why would you even go red? There's no red on him at all.
I don't know.
He's all
Shout
pastel.
Shout out to commenter of the week. Let me see if I can find Duke Spike on SkylandersCharacterlist.com. Okay.
Okay.
Comment of the week. I'm not going to get any variants this year. You want to know why? They're just the same figures but different colors.
Okay. Yeah, that's what variant is.
That's
right.
What has been all 6 Skylanders games, no?
Oh, you kids. I love you guys. You guys crack me up. Yeah, overall, nice looking pictures. Nice looking glam shots, if you will.
Yep.
What else is going on with Skylanders?
Other news, Skylanders news. Getting Jingle Bell Chompy Mage getting ready to come out here. Any day. Getting Roundup ready to go. I should say about the Mystical Bad Juju. It looks like we've gotten some reports too that's showing up in GameStop and EB Game systems. So it looks like that is going to be what it is a GameStop exclusive. But again, not ready to fully make that call.
Would that mean
for Jingle Bell Chompy Mage should be
Taekwon Crow would be exclusive too?
Yeah, both would be probably.
Okay.
But yeah, so that Jingle Bell Chompy Mage as well as the Thumble Wumpa Islands Adventure Pack should be coming out soon. Wave 3 in general. So we're right on the cusp of the edge. No date here in North America at all yet, but should be rolling in here soon.
No date because Skylanders doesn't believe in dates, correct?
Sometimes you get a heads up with Toys R Us, but everything else,
Sure.
who knows?
Okay, I just know people always ask when they're coming out, and it's a tough thing to continuously say. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Soon? Question mark. The legendary Life Acorn Creation Crystal is out.
Yep.
What a
Third
great
one.
name. Hats off to Matt.
Fantastic name.
Life Acorn.
I will say too, again, something popped up today at Amazon. Sensei Villain 5-pack version 2.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know what's all going to be in that. So keep your eyes on that. Pre-orderable, it's just temporarily out of stock. So I don't really know. Since they pushed in pre-orders, it typically means it's going to be something and not just like a wrong listing. But
Right.
I have not a clue.
Villain 5-pack, huh?
Yeah, I mean it could be more villains, obviously. But I don't know what it's going to be. I'd be curious if anything overlaps.
Yeah, because we have 4 unreleased villains.
Is that what it is? I actually don't even know.
Yeah, because we have Bad Juju, Blastertron, Graveclobber, and of course Pinata. So
Yeah,
maybe throw Chaos in there?
could be. Maybe they'll get a variant. Who knows?
Who knows? Skylanders, you're funny. Awesome. Well, let's get over to the big news of the week that happened over the weekend. Lego Dimensions. Lego Dimensions, of course, is sponsored by our friend James Holian. You can find on Twitter at Infinity Museum. Lego Dimensions fans, brace yourselves. Finally, time to rejoice. Time to be happy. Time to just drop all your worries and concerns and just embrace the goodness that is this news item. Jason, what do we got?
Yeah, so every other territory has gotten a Green Arrow minifigure bag. Excuse me. If you ordered a starter pack, you could get it. And I was even on his podcast saying I don't think that was ever going to happen here. I was wrong, and in a big way. There was a rumor probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, that GameStop was going to get them, but there was no real substance to it. And again, GameStop employees will tell you darn well anything.
Yep.
But yeah, so the Black Friday ad leaked out for GameStop, and you get a free Green Arrow figure when you buy any LEGO Dimensions product. So not just starter pack. You go in there and buy just a fun pack, buy a level pack, a team pack, any of the stuff that's on sale. Fun packs aren't on sale, but level or team pack and get it for free with that.
What if I want to buy ET Fun Pack that just came out?
Then absolutely.
What if I want to buy Fantastic Beasts Story Pack that just came out?
It's yours for the taking.
What if I am new to LEGO Dimensions and want to buy a starter pack with Supergirl in it?
Then you get both.
Woo! So you're saying
and if you're one,
any LEGO Dimensions purchase?
Any purchase. And if you're one of the first 100 people, you get a pack of yokai medals.
Ooh, even better.
That's with any purchase.
Huh.
That's how well yokai's doing. They're just giving out packs like crazy.
Please give this out.
Yeah, now, here's the thing. 2 things to it. One, use cognitive thinking with this. You would not believe the number of comments and tweets I got saying, is it just a minifigure or does it include the base? No, they're giving you just the figure. It's not going to be the LEGO Dimensions person. Just the figure. I got at least 7 or 8.
Could you imagine the marketing nightmare that would be?
Right. People, legit, just think. Just logically think for a second. Just for 1 second.
1 second.
Now, second of all, attached to this, news broke out. This came out right when I was trying to find parking where I was supposed to park for the Columbus Crew Stadium, which, shout out to the Columbus Crew for having a god-awful parking situation. I had absolutely no idea where we were going. The exiting, no joke. To leave the place, there was like a chain link fence with a gate swung open just barely enough to fit 1 car, and you came into like the back lot of like the Ohio Columbus area fairground or something like that. You literally went, like, I cannot emphasize enough. Just picture a chain link fence with just 1 section removed, and that's what we all left in through. Like, everybody. Then they took you across the street to some weird other, like, parking area, and they're directing you to where to go. I had no idea. I was like, this is where we're keeping World Cup qualifiers? No wonder people think this is a joke. It took us an hour and 15 minutes to get out of there. It was horrendous.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. Anyways, that news happened when I came in. But anyways, this happened. I was telling Noah, I'm like, oh, man, all this time people have been, like, pissed about this. You know, here we go. Finally, they're going to be happy. Put this on there. Bam. First three notifications I get, people complaining. And I'm like, I told them, I was like, I'm so done with this. This is ridiculous. I'm going to call all of you people out there right now. Get mad at me all you want. I'm a little bit edgy tonight. Shut up.
There's nothing to be upset about with this.
You complain all the time. Just let me buy it. You can buy it. You're just buying it and getting something else for free. Treat it. Okay, fine. Picture you're getting. You can go buy the minifigure for $11.99, and then you get a fun pack for free. What is there to complain about? I don't understand. I do not understand. This is. Do you want them to pay you to get it? Jeez Louise! Look at it this way. People who went to conferences paid for a lot more than you did.
Yeah.
So I do not understand. I mean, okay, it just comes as a figure without the vehicle, blah, blah, blah. How many vehicles do you use? What do you want, like, they could check in a fun pack? You use, like, 2 vehicles.
Also, no one else got vehicles with them, so...
Right. I blew my mind. It blew my mind how many people are complaining.
Now...
So here's the thing. If you complained, don't go get it. You don't deserve it. You don't get it. Lost it, you don't earn one.
If GameStop had, like, said that you get a free one with the purchase of every starter pack, okay, I understand you being upset about that, right? But
and
this is
really, because everybody, that's the way it's been the whole way around the world, so everybody else had to deal with it.
Right.
But now this is like so mad.
Buy anything. There is a new wave of LEGO Dimensions coming out in 4 days, right? If you just hold off on buying any one of those things and just go to GameStop a week after that and buy the one thing that you didn't buy on Wave 7 launch day, you get a free Green Arrow. That's it. That's all you got to do.
In a Yokai Metal Pack.
Because you know you're probably going to be the first 100. And from all reports that I've seen, like, there's going to be lots of these things to be given out. It's not like the first 10 in the door or anything like that. They're not just giving them away to just random people, so the Lego Dimensions fans, by the time you get there, you're not going to have one. It's going to be for Lego Dimensions fans. That's why you have to buy one Lego Dimensions product. This is their way to regulate that.
There's different stores and obviously different markets and different things could happen. I would be surprised if they even... I wouldn't be surprised even if they have some left over by Saturday comes.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's so specific of a thing, you have to go buy a, a Lego Dimensions product that, especially because there's not that many sales going on as far as fun packs. I mean, yeah, there's sales for like the team packs and stuff like that, but it's not like it's this overwhelming, like, all right, everybody's got to go to GameStop because they have the best Lego Dimensions sales.
Right, exactly.
And so it's me and Tom, I wouldn't be that stressed about going and getting it. I really want it. Doesn't mean, get there early, get it, just be done with it. I'm not saying wait till 8 o'clock on a Friday night to go get it, but I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but just like legit,
it's free.
People, oh my goodness,
it's free. If they weren't coming out with anything new, and you're just like, I have everything, I don't want to buy something I already have because I have everything already. Still, there's ways to work around that whole thing. But okay, but this is literally 1 week after a new launch of new figures, so
right.
Everything is set up.
Because if they would even say, hey, we listened, to your feedback, we partnered with Amazon for distribution. We're gonna put it for $10, blah blah blah. I think there'd be less complaining than there even is for this.
100%.
For some reason, I think they just feel like they're forced to buy something they don't want.
Sure.
They just want to buy that. Think of the other way. You buy it for $12, $11, and you get to pick out a fun pack of your choice.
Yep.
Get a second ET.
Yeah, and I don't even like GameStop, but it's like this. There's nothing egregious or nefarious about this deal. It's just like Lego Dimensions saying, "Hey, we know you all want Green Arrow. Here it is. Have fun." And of all the stores that could handle a giveaway like this, GameStop and probably Toys R Us would be the two that could actually handle something like this. Could you imagine Target employees trying to figure out how to distribute a Green Arrow with the purchase of every Lego Dimensions on Black Friday?
Solar Flare's not even going to be out on store shelves. So.
No, there's no way bigger stores, Best Buy, Target, could handle something like that. I'm not even sure Toys R Us would be able to handle that on a Black Friday. But GameStop employees, they got nothing else to do but sit back and hand out free Green Arrow, Lego Dimensions figures, and Yokai Watch medals.
Yep.
So, there you go, folks. Get a free Green Arrow. Or don't. Really, I don't care. I'm going to get an extra one, and I'm probably going to give it away to somebody. But I don't want to hear... Jason doesn't want to hear anybody else complain about not getting Green Arrow, because you're literally getting it for free.
And then tell me how many times you play with it.
I played with it once, only because I suddenly remembered that I had it. I'm like, oh yeah, Green Arrow. And I played it on, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's Green Arrow. I'm more upset about not having Supergirl, because she actually has an ability that only Supergirl has.
Right.
I'm more upset about that. But
that nobody uses.
Say la vie. That's it, Jason. That's all the news we got, my friend.
No, there's the Lego Dimensions packs on Amazon.
Oh.
That now have disappeared.
Oh. Okay.
The toy bundles.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Do you even check my Twitter feed, bro? Do you even Twitter,
sometimes, sometimes not. It depends.
Amazon put up 4 bundles today and then took all 4 of them down off the search results. The pages themselves are still live, but not showing up in search. For a Adventure Time bundle, Ghostbusters bundle, Fantastic Beasts bundle, and DC Comics bundle for $72.95, $98.96, $91.97, and $66.97. All set for release this Friday, the 18th. All include various things in that franchise. So, like for Fantastic Beasts pack, you're getting the story pack, plus the new fun pack, plus the Harry Potter team pack. But But then the interesting thing about all 4 of them is at the end that you get a surprise fun pack at the end of all 4. What does that mean? No clue. The price for each of those bundles is equivalent to including that fun pack in. So I don't think it's going to be here's the random Cyborg Cyborg is in the DC Comics one, but random ones is not selling very well, so we're just going to chuck it in here for free and make it seem like you're getting a deal because it's all the full price. So I have no idea. But then they disappeared. So curious to see what happened. But they are pre-orderable, so they're definitely a thing. Still pre-orderable if you have the direct link, but otherwise I have no idea. If you're still there, I can't hear you.
I muted you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're a jerk.
I didn't mute you. I muted my mic.
Mm.
I'd coughed, and I forgot to unmute. So it's going to be a very confusing part of the podcast for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I was asking
You're talking,
you...
I remember you asking questions. No clue, he said.
Fantastic Beasts, Ghostbusters, DC Comics, and the 4th one was Adventure Time?
Adventure Time.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Fantastic Beasts and Adventure Time. They don't have another fun pack that's relevant to it. Ghostbusters, they could have.
Slimer or Stay Puft?
Yeah, and I think I can't remember if those had that included in it already because they list the stuff in there and it says surprise fun pack at the end. I have no idea. I mean, unless they're marking down the price and then surprise fun pack is literally they're just gonna chuck in surprise fun pack. But right now the price is that, and maybe that's why. Like I said, a lot of times when they take stuff down off search results, it's because they're adjusting the price.
Right.
So that very well could be, and if that's what it is, I mean that's what it is. But and again, I'm not going to full out bull and think that Amazon's getting some time exclusive or some other weird things going on. But it's of note, but not necessarily newsworthy yet. So curious to see what happens with it.
But we should have some developments this week.
It ships on Friday, so you would hope so.
So strange. What if they just decide to throw Green Arrow and Supergirl into a fun pack as your bonus?
Yeah, they could. They absolutely could.
People will still be mad.
Yeah, they would.
Also, just a reminder, Marceline, the Vampire Queen, she is a Target exclusive?
No.
Toys R Us exclusive?
There you go.
All right. Here I am just spreading misinformation, just willy-nilly. Along with the rest of Wave 7 that comes out Friday. Good stuff, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly so excited for the sign thing. I don't know why. This week I've been more excited about ET. I think I'm just excited to have an ET minifigure.
Sure.
But
this is so
we'll
goofy
see.
looking. All right. Now are we done with news?
Yes.
All right. Fantastic. Well, let's do our community question here. I vowed to give the response of the week winner a very special prize. I'm going to send them a souvenir exclusive from my Disneyland trip coming up this week. What that's going to be, I don't know yet. I haven't even picked it out. Maybe it's just going to be an autograph on a bar napkin from dear friend Brett. That would qualify, right?
That would qualify.
Maybe it's going to be a selfie with me and George Torres. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be...
That's worth money because George Torres is a mystery man.
That's right. That's right. So, I don't know what the souvenir is going to be from Disneyland. It's going to be something fun. I'm going to have fun with it for sure. Maybe I'll even Periscope picking it out. Who knows? Regardless, the winner of this community question for the response of the week is going to get that mystery prize that has yet to be determined. So the question this week was, if you could go on a road trip with 3 Toys to Life figures who have now actually come to life, who would it be and why? I wanted to have fun with this one.
Yes.
Also, shout out to the first response that we had this week.
Oh, quick on the trigger.
Amiibo Jason, what's he doing? He's trying to win a prize.
Yeah.
That guy, man. That guy. Anyway, Jason, take it away.
Yeah, so maybe Jason did start off with Easy, Zero Suit Samus, Korra, and a second Korra. Sure, Jason. Lone Goldfish is Chris Pratt as Emmett, Chris Pratt as Owen, and Chris Pratt as Star Lord.
Yep.
Chris Bachelor says Gold Mario because he's made of gold, Boo because he can fly, and Charizard because who wouldn't want that? Very true.
It's true.
Very true. Tori Alex is Iron Man to pay for snacks and gas. Sprocket to fix the car if it breaks down, and Yarn Yoshi to use as a pillow. Guadalupe says Captain Falcon for a driver. Stealth Elf always needs one, and Sonic because when I think Sonic, I think cars, right? Lego Dimensions, and then put a strange emoji.
It's true.
Adam Tuttle says Elsa, daughter could sing "Let It Go" with her. Lightning McQueen for the sweet ride. Make Yarn so we could all be cozy in a packed car. Speaking of Lightning McQueen this week, speaking of Lightning McQueen this week, feel like Cars trailer is gonna be hitting this month. That's my gut feeling.
You feeling it, huh?
Feeling it. Finding Dory came out in November. So we'll see.
Maybe I'll try to get the inside scoop while I'm down there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was gonna come out with Moana, but I think we're running out of time for that. But who knows? I mean, I think they would have teased that was coming, but it's been
Maybe they just want Moana to come out. Like they don't want to take any glory away from Moana. Let the movie come out and then go forward with it.
We'll see. Ben Anderson says Batman, Iron Man for the money, and Star Lord because he's hilarious. Jess Carter says Stitch because he's cute and fluffy. Olaf for his unique view on life. And Harry because Ryan and Hermione would come too. That's true.
Yeah, it's also cheating, but
Hey, listen. Will Hodby says Iron Man could give me money. Everybody's like Iron Man is supposed to give money. So funny.
Like, would you need any other two passengers if you had Iron Man? Really?
No, you wouldn't.
Okay.
Iron Man could give me money, Mewtwo because he could teleport there instantly, and Charizard because who doesn't want one? Jeff Grimes 23 says Princess Leia, Han Solo, and Kylo Ren. Let's work out those family shoes. That's what you want to do on a road trip, Jeff?
That's a long road trip.
Real quick. P.S. Spoiler alert. Billy DJ Dog, Thor, Iron Man, Star Lord, road trip to Vegas because drinking buddies. Also, Jarvis would be the DD. All fun, no worries. Tori says Pinata for the candy snacks, Star Lord for the jokes, and Jigglypuff for a pillow. DMU Girl 2008 says the Doctor because time traveling genius alien. Olaf because I like hugs too, and Joy because she would keep things fun. Joe Euler Snowguard 77 says Gil Grunt always have water, Iron Man always have money, and Jack Sparrow always having fun. And finally, William Thorndike Pop Fizz for snacks. Oh, there's a different one for snacks. Lane McQueen for the wheels, and Star Lord for those sweet jams. And of course, tweet of the week goes to Shopkins Inc. Says 3 Thriller feeds to help navigate the trip because Thriller feed always get to where they're supposed to go.
Oh god, that hurts.
Now I was this is how I was thinking.
Okay.
I was stuck between. I'll go in reverse order. I was stuck because I was thinking either bad cop because you could use his. I think he'd have the license to use a light, his lights, so everybody could get out of our way. So it's on the road. Flip between that and Wreck-It Ralph because Wreck-It Ralph would just be freaking awesome.
Right.
You know. So I flip between those two. Did say Pinata also. Give me some road trip candy. But on my road trips, I'm a big historical nerd and like knowing information about the town, everything like that. So I said Gandalf because I feel like Gandalf would know like everything about everywhere we're going and say like the unique fun facts about every place we go and make the road trip more interesting.
Sure. What about Vision?
Vision too. Yep.
Yeah, Vision could work. Huh. Yeah, I guess I didn't really put any thought into this, but I like everybody's answers. Everybody had some really good ones.
Yep.
Who do you think won? It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough this week.
I feel like everybody that put Iron Man should be disqualified because Iron Man could be the life of the party. He could also be the rich driving force monetarily behind the trip. and could also be the hired muscle if things went awry. So anybody that put Iron Man plus 2 other people, just unnecessary. Just unnecessary. But that's just me. You're the one picking.
No. I do like Jeff Grimes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I just worry about like the actual funness of that road trip.
I'll say that road trip would get awkward real quick.
Yeah.
But Guadalupe's was, Captain Falcon for the driver. I'm curious what the rationale is behind that. I guess maybe thinking he has a hard lead foot, maybe.
Well, I mean, he's from F-Zero, so
I guess he'll drive good.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll go Guadalupe.
Guadalupe. All right.
That Stealth Elf was a good call.
Yeah, because you always need a stealth elf.
And I feel like you could use Stealth Elf for like trade bait,
Sure.
when you go places. Be worth like half a cent, but
Yeah.
at least it's something.
Right. Also, I have a newfound appreciation for stealth elf because of Skylanders Academy. I've said that like non-jokingly, and I still stand by it. Like, I really like stealth elf in Skylanders Academy.
Don't drink their Kool-Aid.
I can't help it, man. Plus, I mean Sonic, because that's how I always associate Sonic is with vehicles. So, Guadalupe, congratulations. Get a hold of me, and I will pick you out some fun souvenir from Disneyland and get that sent your way. So, thank you all to responding. It was a lot of fun. I like having fun questions where people like to be goofy and as funny as possible. It always works out well. So. We have no inquire this segment this week because we're trying to make it a little bit shorter. We do have a couple emails this week to go over, though. Emails, part of the podcast, is sponsored by our friend Evan Parker, aka The Lone Goldfish. You can follow all of his Twitch activities over at twitch.tv/The Lone Goldfish. 2 emails came in today, Jason. People were just
awesome.
like, you know what? I just wrote you guys 4 days ago. I got nothing else to say. I respect that, people. I respect it. First one's from DMU Girl 2008 with some rapid fire questions for you, Jason.
I'm ready.
Lego Dimensions. What Wave 7 figure are you getting at launch, and which ones are you waiting until Black Friday for?
So I've said this before. I think I'm personally going to wait and for to get them all Black Friday, try and work out some deals. Also, no, I'm not going to have any time to really play them between then and Black Friday. So probably going to wait because, again, I said Amy's coming down. Also, Pokemon comes out that day, and I'm playing some Pokemon Sun and Moon. Love my Lego Dimensions, but gotta play some Pokemon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would if I wasn't if situation was different, I would probably wait for Marceline. Toys R Us exclusive probably have a lot, but at the same time maybe not. But especially just get the GameStop promotion. I feel like some reason I feel like ET is going to be the one that's going to be packaged the less amount of.
Sure.
Sonic, I think they're going to have a bunch of. The Fantastic, it's a story pack, so they'll have some. And then Trina is important. It's a Fantastic Beasts character, but I think a lot of people might not buy it off the bat per se too. Especially people who are new to the movie might not know who that is yet. So that might be your safe bet to wait on. Because I think Lego Dimensions will make a lot because they want to promote it because it's a big deal for them doing it day and day with the movie.
Yep.
But I think that's the one that's going to sell the least, at least for the time being. Again, maybe once people see the movie.
Yep.
I know nothing about her, so I don't know. Obviously I know she plays a crucial role in the movie and everything, but people don't necessarily like overbuying new characters. They don't know what they are yet.
Right. And ET is just, it's hitting home with that nostalgia, but like kids out there, like they have no context for ET. So
Right.
same with the Gremlins,
I forgot about the Gremlins there.
Yeah. Do you think all updates and building instructions will be out in time for launch this time?
No.
Awfully hopeful, but no.
Here's the funny thing too. An update came out today for PS4, I guess. Another some update on. I mean, it says 11 gigs, and we talked before about it's not really 11 gigs.
Right.
And so obviously it's just getting ready to download the new stuff when it comes out. But then I don't know if you watched any of Greg's video today at all. But he was doing an unboxing of the Fantastic Beasts story pack with his mom, and some of the other packs, and he was saying about how he got these quote unquote, which he's saying it tongue in cheek, but he's getting confidential documents telling you how to put the things together outside the game.
Right.
And I'm like, I'll get ready to tweet it out Tuesday or Wednesday again, but I don't. Excuse me, my voice has been going all weekend.
Sure.
I don't understand what they're losing by not doing it. I don't see what they have to gain by purposely not updating the website. Yeah. Like, it's not like they're making money by forcing you to do it in the game. I fully understand them not printing the stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's saving them, even probably 40, 50 cents a box times up by however many.
Yeah.
That's a huge cost savings, absolutely. But again, I don't understand on the website. And again, especially too, people are like, oh, new LEGO Dimension stuff's out. Let me go check the website. And they never even update it with the new packs the day it's out, let alone the instructions.
Yeah.
Like, do you not want to make your own stuff?
If anything, that's clickbait, man. Just get people on your website clicking away.
Absolutely.
What do we know, though?
Nothing.
Rest of the email is about Skylanders. What is the most interesting Imaginator you have created thus far?
Still made my Disco Knight's the only guy I've made so far.
Sure.
Still like him. I want to make Sir Hoodington at some point, but we'll see.
Favorite level or part of the game so far?
I think I like the crash stuff just because it's just, the guest character, it's just fun to go through a crash level, but in the Sky, because it's one of the things you thought might happen, but it's like they're never going to do it.
Right.
So it's fun to do that. I mean, I never thought they would do an actual level like that, so it was a big deal.
I will say the final boss, without spoiling it, is so much better than I imagined it would be.
Pun intended?
100%. Also, it's the most anime thing I could ever see Skylanders doing. Like, as soon as I saw the final boss, I started thinking specifically about you and Vince and our good friend Seth Hay, and I was just like, you guys are going to love this so much. So, I'm just going to toss that out there. I went in with normal expectations as to what the final boss fight would be like, and it was far superior than I hoped it would be, so.
Shout out to Funimation and Crunchyroll. Got a license to do official Dragon Ball Z Super, or excuse me, it's Dragon Ball Super subs. So the official certified English versions.
Oh, okay.
So you can watch. And they're doing 10 a week. They're doing day and day basically now. It's a couple hour delay while they process the subtitles and get everything up.
Sure.
But you can watch the episode that aired in Japan 10 hours later, with official English subtitles.
Wow.
And now they're going back and adding all the old ones in, so they're up to episode 30 or something like that, and then they started with 44 after. So soon you'll be able to catch up real quick. So I did try it again because like I said before, I'm not very good at subtitles stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm addicted to it now. I'm officially in, so I have to put my phone down, full screen it, just 20 minutes of me just watching. But I am getting better at multitasking it because I'm starting to pick up Japanese words.
Okay.
For stuff they repeat over and over again, so I can kind of figure it out. So, and again, if you don't know the joke about Dragon Ball, there's a bajillion episodes. Really, only within 100 hours of Dragon Ball, actual 100 hours of Dragon Ball content. Maybe only 20 minutes of it's actual anything important. Everything else is just pure filler. So.
It's good to know. That makes me want to jump in and start watching.
They legit. There was someone who did because they do all those power up noises and stuff, and it don't get me wrong, it adds to the show. It really does.
Sure.
But if you took out all of them, just they power up, in the full series of Dragon Ball Z, which is 280 episodes or whatever, you could cut out I think it was a fifth or a sixth of the number of minutes.
Wow.
Just cutting that out.
Anime, man. It's wild.
Anime.
Last email of the night is from our friend Alex, Atari Alex, who did a Periscope unboxing the other night of my mystery box that I sent him a few weeks back.
Which night was that? I got the notification on my phone.
Friday night.
I was showing if I was driving or what I was doing.
Yeah, it was Friday night. It was about 9 p.m. Pacific, so it would have been, what, 11 or 12, wherever you were?
I was sitting in the parking lot.
Okay, yeah. He did it dressed as a banana. That was weird.
Just because?
Just because he's Alex. He wrote in and said, "Dear Josh and Jason, I don't know if you guys have mentioned it before, but other than Teen Titans Go and Ghostbusters, Season 2 of LEGO Dimensions did not feature any repeat franchises. Obviously, there are tons of TV shows, movies, video games, etc. that they could continue to draw from, and the LEGO lawyers are always great at making deals. But at some point, I think they're going to run out. Do you agree, or do you think they'll license every pop culture franchise until there are no more franchises, and they have to start making their own movies and TV shows? If they do revisit franchises from previous seasons, which ones would you like to see new characters pulled from? Personally, I'd like to see more DC and Simpsons characters."
Yeah, obviously we have a year 3. Year 3, I don't think we're going to have any repeat stuff again. I think it'll be all fresh stuff.
Mm-hmm.
DC Comics, they can obviously cheat and reference different areas. It doesn't necessarily have to be DC Comics. They could do something from the movies, from TV shows, different things, and call it something else, even though it's just DC Comics still.
Right.
So it's just stuff of that. After year 3, I've been saying from the beginning, we'll see what happens. 2017, 2018, as always, I thought was going to be the last year of Toys to Life stuff. So I don't know how much will be there around after that anyways. But at that point, they could definitely redo stuff. I think them going back and revisiting old franchises, while it is great, is also a dangerous button for them to push, because then you're constantly just going to be getting requests all the time of revisiting old stuff. I think it'd be easier for them to just say, what we release is what we released, and we're going to move on and do other stuff. Otherwise it's just a constant strain of people asking to do previous stuff versus just being able to move on.
Sure. If they do get Star Wars, Marvel, Disney into LEGO Dimensions, like right there alone, I feel gives them enough content for as long as they want to keep doing LEGO Dimensions.
Yep.
Add in more DC characters, which they could always go back to. And then, there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, like Transformers. There are so many different franchises out there. He-Man, what's the cat? Thundercats. So many old, like, nostalgic franchises. There's so many new franchises that they could go to. I don't feel like there's a lack of
Looney Tunes.
If they want to get crazy, like, they could start going into like Nickelodeon.
They own Matrix. So they have that franchise too.
So there's so much out there that they could pull from and continue to add to the game, that going back, like you said, would be kind of a step backwards for them, and a dangerous button to push, because there are tons more Simpsons characters that we would love to see, but like when you start bringing in Maggie and Lisa and Marge and Chief Wiggum, and you start going down the list, and it's like, where do you stop?
Right.
When does that cutoff happen before it turns into just a Simpsons Lego game?
Right. Remember, it's Warner Brothers in general, so they have, a wide variety of stuff. From their movie line, very first movie came out in 1918.
Yeah.
So they have, essentially 100 years worth of movies they can even pull from. So
yep.
They have a lot to go.
Yeah. I think they're okay. I think they're okay without having to dip back into older franchises. And like, there's, they could cut corners here and there, like with the Ghostbusters movie, with Teen Titans Go, which is officially DC Comics, but nobody ever thinks of Teen Titans Go as DC Comics,
Right.
So there are different ways to pull franchises out of existing bigger franchises that we've seen already, without making it seem like they're going back to the well too often.
And like, I mean, what they're doing now with Fantastic Beasts and Lego Batman, I mean, they can do side by side with new stuff coming out. So
Yeah.
So I mean, there's new content that's not even out yet that they can do stuff for.
Right. So, a lot of possibilities out there. I think they're okay overall. As long as people keep buying the game and keep being interested in what they're doing, like that's on them to continue to put out a product that is interesting and compelling enough to keep purchasing stuff for it. So, as long as they do that, we'll be fine. With that being said, Jason, it's going to end the show here. We're done.
It's a fun one.
Wrapping it up. Where can people find you at, my friend?
Yeah, you can always follow me personally on Twitter, twitter.com/JasonInquires. That's also the handle for Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And also head to all my Toys Life-centric accounts of Brick Inquirer and Skylanders Inquirer.
For myself personally, you could follow me on Twitter at The Noise. Follow the show on Twitter at Toys for Games. You can join the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Toys for Games. Email us, podcast@toysforgames.com. Check out the website, toysforgames.com. And if you'd like to support us and what we do, you can do so over on Patreon, patreon.com/toysforgames. Also, please be sure to visit Toyji, toyji.com, toyji.com. Go over there, check them out, watch the videos, check out the pictures of what we're talking about. Join the newsletter, like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, do all that stuff. Be the community that I know you guys are. Rise up and show them that you are interested and that they have your support. Even if it's not monetarily, just the support of the fact that they are entering the genre that you all know and love so well. So, with that being said, Jason, I'm off to Disneyland in a couple days, my friend. I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. And, boy, oh boy. God, I need a churro or two in my life right now.
I'm super jealous.
Yeah. I'm going to try not to send you too many pictures, but I'm probably going to be sending you a lot of pictures. Me and Brett are just going to take selfies all over the park. Wish you were here.
What day are you getting there?
We leave Wednesday night after work, so we'll be getting in sometime Thursday afternoon, depending on where we might stop along the way. So,
okay.
And then we'll be returning. We'll be back home Monday night.
So I'll be muting your text starting Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, just completely ignore me. I'll be sure to tag you in all social media though. So, I mean, unless you go off the grid, you're gonna see me somewhere. With that being said, this has been another fun episode. We'll do it again next week sometime. I think we'll be able to squeeze it in between when I return and Thanksgiving. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens here, folks. But until next time, happy hunting, collectors.